Alright guys, let's go. What the heck? This only in Battlefield 2042.
Fellow gamers, it took my very first round on Iwo Jima to bring back all sorts of memories of Battlefield 2042 gameplay. The good and the bad.
Got him!
If you're like me, it's probably been a while since you've booted up or even thought about the game. Simply put, it just didn't connect with me in its early years. But with all the hype around Battlefield 6 recently, it seemed like the perfect time to give it another shot and deliver possibly one of the final reviews of Battlefield 2042. I thought the game had officially wrapped some time ago, making it a pleasant surprise to see the game is in much better shape than it was before. It may feel like a million years ago now, but a while back, Battlefield 2042 received less than stellar feedback for a variety of reasons. I suppose that feedback continues today, but whether it was game bugs, the lack of voice chat in a scoreboard, the removal of classes, or limited content, the game simply missed the mark at release. I'm sure longtime franchise players could probably list other features too. Clearly, the game was released a little bit earlier than it probably should have. But if you fast forward to today, it's pretty amazing to see how far the game has come, whether it's your favorite Battlefield or not. So leave a comment below, as I'd be interested in how everyone feels after the dust is pretty much settled for this game. To get started, I'll briefly step back into the future of what is Battlefield 2042, where twisters and sandstorms pass through all sorts of apocalyptic settings. Weapons, vehicles, and outfits all look slightly familiar, but with a futuristic style to them. It's obviously great to have plenty of things to unlock and keep players playing on, and Battlefield 2042 does this well. But this is where it gets a little odd, given the futuristic and apocalyptic setting, mixed with soldiers having some quirky clothes and golden gear for World War II. Yeah, I'm charging Iwo Jima with the most pimped out M1 you've ever seen. It's probably fair to say that 2042 didn't quite nail the balance of handling 128 players, the way games like, say, Hell Let Loose have managed. So expect the best battle experience with 64. But many maps, regardless of how big they are, still feel like Operation Locker crammed meat grinders. Take Haven, Stranded, and Flashpoint as examples. But hey, every Battlefield game always pushes out a couple classics, even in 2042, with Exposure, Orbital, and Hourglass as some pretty memorable places. But it doesn't take long to realize the best thing about 2042 really has nothing to do with the events of 2042 at all. The best gameplay is in Portal. For all the players that remember the glory days from games like 1942 or Bad Company 2, this mode takes you back to older Battlefield eras with updated graphics and controls. It also serves as a sandbox mode where you can adjust all sorts of settings and gameplay rules. It's a great concept that offers a variety of ways to play. It's just a shame that it was never seriously taken advantage of for all the opportunities that it could bring. The maps and eras offered since day one have remained pretty much unchanged. No Battlefield Vietnam, and no maps like D-Day. But with Portal returning for Battlefield 6, hopefully we can be reunited with more classic locations and eras.
I got one!
2042 gets most of its attention for how it deviated from those classic games in a couple of ways that were both good and bad. The extraction mode, Hazard Zone, never really landed with gamers. I was surprised to see rounds still filled with players, but sadly, the mode never got the support it deserved and didn't live up to Battlefield 5's Firestorm. I won't get into the specialists, as the community was pretty clear about how they didn't like that, but the classes were eventually brought back for 2042, even if it makes player customization a bit overwhelming. Adjusting attachments in the field was a nice touch, and having the option to call in support if you need a ride or backup was handy too. But Battlefield 2042 gameplay still feels quite faster than previous titles, more Call of Duty-like. Maybe it's because of the specialists, or for getting around the large maps. But it's hard to be safe or even sneaky, whether it's guns with big scopes, the verticality to the maps, where all the vehicles around expect to be marked on the map and to be shot at a lot. Even when you get downed, you can instantly mark the foe responsible. And this is where the game bothered me the most, because it might seem all fun and adrenaline filled at first, with bullets and explosions all around you, all the time, but it quickly loses some of that steam with all the fast respawns and the feeling of never catching your breath or strategizing across the battlefield. It's surprising too, considering Battlefield 2042 doesn't have as much destruction. Yes, you can punch holes into the walls, but the maps aren't altered as much as past games. The biggest environment-changing events come from the weather, like the twisters and sandstorms mentioned before, which I hope to see again in future Battlefield games. So, is Battlefield 2042 worth playing, now that it's pretty much complete? Yes. Is it a good game? Absolutely.
Woo!
Is it the best Battlefield game? No. With so many great Battlefield games, it's almost unfair. In its current, more polished state, you can't help but wonder how gamers would react if this was called anything other than Battlefield. The typical action gamer will enjoy this game a lot. But for experienced Battlefield players, they'll probably yearn for games past, or maybe focus on something like Battlefield 6. In the end, I'm reminded of Battlefield Hardline, where developers just tried something different and it simply didn't connect at first. But given time and several updates, the feedback eventually softened over the years. So maybe by the year 2042 in our lives, it will be interesting to see what gamers think of 2042, the game. Currently, it's still a blast, and it provides plenty of only in Battlefield-like moments.
Oh,
Now, check out this video up next, about a VR game just like Battlefield. Thanks for watching.